Yeah, it's funny how that works, huh, Doug? Against Golden State, we play it absolutely perfectly and come up on the wrong side of that play. And tonight we play it not very perfectly at all and come out on the right side of it. So isn't it a funny game?
It is indeed. The ball is really zinging around really well almost all night. But then in the fourth quarter, I know the shots didn't go in, but did you feel a little stagnant against that zone?
Yeah, a little bit. I thought we were taking a little too long to get started against it, Doug. So eating into the clock, and then I thought we were having a few too many, like you said, stagnate's the right word, but just it should have probably been popping a little bit more. It was a little bit maybe over analyzing what we were looking for rather than just moving, swinging, driving, getting into a gap and punching into the paint. So we're gonna have to be ready for a lot of zone here in a couple nights, I'm assuming.
I do think you had like 29 assists through three quarters. The ball really was moving around really well in those first three periods, right?
Yeah, again, I think, Doug, for the most part, in the last, let's say, half a dozen games, the offense is probably where we like it, right? There's some pace up the floor. There's some good transition buckets. There's some rim attacks. There's dump offs. There's plenty of threes to go around, obviously. There's back cuts. We're finding a lot for majority of a lot of these games. And I would say, again, other than the start defensively, I like good portions of the defense. I thought we're still kind of getting used to, this kind of constant 1 through 5 switching, meaning, it's not something we've done a ton of. So it's a little bit new, and it's just guys, just gotta, right now there's 20 mistakes in communication on the switching. That's got to get cut in half. And then when they do get switched, some guys got to sit down and guard the mismatches a little tougher. Not you don't have to blanket them and shut them out, but you got to round those drives instead of making them straight line drives. You got to, guys that aren't in normally like rim protection position, now they are, so they've got to make the right rotations and things like that. So there's a lot of polish there, but at least there's some really good stretches of it as well, as you can see it kind of growing a little bit before our eyes, I think.
Great. Thanks very much, Nick. Appreciate it as always.
Thanks, Doug.
Next question goes to Josh Lewenberg from TSN.
Hey, Nick. When we spoke to you yesterday, you mentioned that you might want to try using Stanley at the 5 some. We saw that a little bit today in the third quarter. What did you think of how he did there, and what do you think he gave you throughout the night tonight? Yeah,
again, I think he's solid, Josh. Right? He's solid, and that's what we need. I don't see a ton of mistakes. Goes for stretches where you don't really notice him that much, and then if he gets left alone naked up there, he's got a little bit of confidence right now to stick that open three. He's tough on the glass. He fights down there, against some bigger bodies because he's pretty strong himself. So I'm happy Stan's played a great role off the bench for us here lately. It's good to see.
What did you think of the second unit in general? What did they do that sort of clicked and worked in the first half that didn't work as well in their second half stint?
Yeah, we got to get them to put two halves together because they really did a great job, I thought, of just playing hard. Right? They were keeping balls alive. They were jarring balls loose at the defensive end. They were limiting them to one shot. And a few of them, tossed in buckets here and there. When Stan tosses in a couple and Yuta tosses in one, and that sustains that group for the 6-7 minutes. But I think just mostly they were playing super hard. Now we gotta make sure when they come out to start the fourth quarter, it's very important time than it is in the start of the second or into the first. So they've got to get ready and bring that same just energy, and then keep moving and cutting on the offensive end.
Thanks, Nick. Have a good night.
Okay, Josh. Thank you.
Next question goes to Eric Koreen from The Athletic.
Hey, Nick. Good evening. I wanted you've spoken in the past about how sometimes the newer players are slower to get things defensively. The way I'm watching Yuta seems to be somebody who really gets it defensively. What's allowed him to do that? And I mean, you were just mentioning the energy. I suppose
Yeah.
I think a lot of that is him.
No, I think Eric, he's first of all, he plays extremely hard, right? He's really given everything he's got on each and every possession, but he's also, he's really smart. He understands the concepts and he understands where he's supposed to be. And he fights. They were kind of going at him, thinking maybe he was going to be a weak link, and he just kept moving his feet and putting his body up and putting his hand up and moving his feet and putting his hand up and work. His work rate was up there. I can only remember one time. I think he rotated a little too slow on one. We showed him at the half that he's got to go a little sooner on that to plug the rim. But other than that, he plays the schemes, with great intensity and with great intelligence.
Is it fair to say that's sort of the biggest barrier to earning your trust? Meaning, like, if somebody could do that, that goes a long way.
Yeah, I mean, that always is right there, Eric. I mean, you can't go out there and just because you're doing that on defense and kick the ball out of bounds every time you touch it. I mean, it doesn't help much, But I mean, you just got to kind of be a safe pair of hands on offense. But those guys again, they just have to kind of take the play that's there, and we don't ask them to make that many plays. The Stanleys and the Utas need to be great cutters to shrink the defense. They need to be patient and keep moving and be good screeners. And again, if it does swing around to them in a rhythm shot, then they got to step into it with confidence and take it.
Thanks, Nick. Have a good night.
You're welcome, Eric. You too.
Next question goes to Ryan Wallstat from the Toronto Sun.
Hey, Nick. What do you see out of OG as he's kind of advancing a bit as an offensive player, maybe handling it? You're looking to get him to create a little more. Where do you see what he's doing and what he did tonight?
Well, I like the one thing I really like about OG is the finishes right at the rim. I think when he gets down in there, whether it's on a cut or the end of a drive, and he gets on balance, he usually uses his kind of wide body, wide shoulders or whatever to get himself a bounce and a decent shot up, and he's pretty good at finishing those. Again, he's just got to stay aggressive. He's going to get a lot of shots late in games. He really is. And I thought he turned one down tonight. We ran a play and kicked it out to him, and he probably should have pulled the trigger on one. He's got to be ready to shoot those late in games because they're going to send the farm to Fred, Pascal, and Kyle. There's no doubt about it. And he's going to be open out there, and he's got to continue to cast them. But again, a little bit more open floor, Ryan. Go ahead, off of rebounds and bring it. Get it into the paint and look to spray. It's always useful in transition too.
All right. Thanks.
Yep.
One more for you, Coach. Going to Michael Grange from Sportsnet.
Hey, Nick. Are you surprised with the consistency that you've got from Chris Boucher through now 11 games? He's barely missed.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I don't want to ever, when the guy's playing really well and maybe you didn't expect it, be surprised. I think we got to be happy about it. And, I don't want to act like I'm in shock here, but he is playing really well. And Michael, the as good as the numbers look, there's a lot of room for improvement. And I don't mean going from scoring 20 to scoring 30. I'm talking about he's really close on making a lot of the right plays at the defensive end that he's not quite getting to. I mean, he does make a lot, a block shot here and a big rebound there and those kind of things, but he's really close to being a really, really solid defensive player. And again, got to get him used to all this switching because he's going to be out there guarding primary ball handlers a lot because that's who they're going to, they're going to go up and set with their 5-man a lot. And if we're switching it, he's going to end up guarding those guys. And I think he's got the speed and the quickness and the length to do it. We just got to get some more reps at it, and I think he'll continue to improve at that end.